You're always on my mind. When you come around, I get shy. See you. Why see you? Every time when every time when I get a minute, I see you. I see you.
Well, guys, I'm back one more time. You know who I am. I'm your gracious host, Drummer. 1980, hailing from Columbia, South Carolina. My motto is I don't make believe, I make believers. I hope you're having a good day today, and if that's not the case, ask yourself why, because after all, happiness is an inside job. Did you hear me? Happiness is an inside job, and it will always be an internal affair. Well, guys, we back today again with my man TBA, and this is a very important conversation because with the political climate, people need to keep their pulse on what's going on and who's involved with these politicians and the shields and all of that good stuff, all right? But this is a good conversation, and let me address something. I've seen certain people get in my comment section, and they say that I'm clout chasing and all this, right? Some people do reaction videos for celebrities and all of that, and that's fine. I'm not against that either, but that's their thing. My thing is I like this information that the new black media have been dispersing and disseminating amongst the people because it's helpful. Knowledge is powerful when it's applied, and that is my forte. That's what I like. If you don't like my channel, don't kick rocks. Look me in my face. Kick rocks. Only a fool will come back and keep continuing to come back to revisit something that they don't like. If you don't like it, bend the corner. And that's how I feel about it. All right, let's go, guys.
Because on tonight's program here, as promised, I want to have a conversation tonight actually about a number of different things. I want to have a conversation about a number of different things. I want to start with fraternities and sororities and the HBCUs. And a decade and a half ago when I began doing this commentary, over a decade and a half ago, I was saying things that at the time were revolutionary, were frightening to a lot of people. I was the guy who had the guts to say, you can't trust these old Now here we are almost 2 decades later, everybody wants to say it. Hey, boomer, and everything else. A little slow on the uptake there, but better late than never, I suppose. But there are a lot of people who are still just as resistant to take such a stance when it comes to the fraternities and the sororities. And now you're witnessing and watching here is this coalition of the untrustworthy, who you can't find them in day-to-day life. They're certainly not pursuing anything other than themselves. They're running around chasing a bunch of titles, but nothing on behalf of the group. When you discuss things like the talented 10, when you discuss things like that, and these folks who have their little cliques that they get together for the purposes of establishing themselves as the would-be leaders, i.e. overseers, of the rest of us. Yep. Now, folks, when you're really doing things like that, it's not hard to find. It's not hard to find you, and folks don't have to go hunt you down all the time. With as many thousands of people in all these secret societies and boule, backdoor, backwater groups and everything else, why, we should have a veritable army of people out there promoting our interests. But that's the problem. The so-called Divine Nine, the fraternities, the sororities, and I will throw in there the HBCUs. Their mission statement, their purpose is not to serve black people. Their mission statement, their purpose is to serve themselves. They do not wish or even desire to establish anything among black people. Their goal is to try to get as high a position within the white hierarchy and the white framework as they can, and use the rest of us to put external pressure on the dominant society so that they can sit up here and go behind our backs and say, well, you see, if you throw a little bit more money to me, I'll calm them Negroes down.
Guys, I hope y'all picking up what he put down. Guys, listen at me. Everything Jason has said this far has no holes. It can't even be challenged at no point. Black people specialize in individualism. Everybody for themselves. That's why you can be easily destroyed in a matter of minutes with the mainstream media, because you don't have no kind of base, no foundation. You start off at the base. It starts out good and you, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm for my people. But the minute you start getting in them rooms by yourself, behind the door, behind the wall, all of a sudden you hear a different tune playing. Huh? Did you hear me? You start to hear a different tune playing. These HBCUs are good for some things, but overall, a lot of shucking and jiving, a lot of partying. Nothing really established for black folks in general. And like how Jason said, and it need to be highlighted. The only thing that they concerned about is moving up in the hierarchy amongst the dominant society. That's it. They don't want to establish nothing for themselves. We should have everything at this point. But the question is, why don't we have anything? Because white folks know, I'm talking about the white supremacists know, you take certain black people and you put them up on the top of the other ones, and they create a gulf between the dominant society and the black society. And here come the boule sitting in the middle, creating a shield. So when anything happen, they run and they hurry up and go get Al Sharpton, or Jesse Jackson, or somebody like that, or they'll put somebody up like Kamala Harris, which and she's not part of us anyway, but she served as a buffer class, dark-skinned person, okay? She's melanated, but she don't classify herself as a black person, and that's a problem. People like her get zaddies, and you think they gonna go against their zaddy's best interests? Like Ketanji Brown, you think she gonna go against her zaddy best interest for you? And they brag about having a zaddy, and that is something to aspire to be, like one of those. But we all know how that play out, guys. But what Jason said is 100% hardcore facts. It can't even be challenged. If you wanted to challenge it, you couldn't challenge it.
And that's the reality of the fraternities and the sororities. I'm starting there, but I'm not going to end there. I'm starting there, but I'm not going to end there. When we talk about these people, when we talk about these groups, when they go out here freely conspiring, which is all they're doing now, is conspiring against the rest of us, having their little get-togethers now against the rest of us, and now they've taken it a diabolical step even further. They are now putting their little pennies together in alliance against us. And please understand, it is against us because there isn't anything that they're doing. Now, as we covered on last night's program, they're now having to come out and admit, yeah, even we among the fraternities and sororities, we're not promoting anything for black people either. We're right there with Kamala Harris. Do something just for black people now! And that's what it was all about. And that's what it's been all about all this time. You want to know why your black doctors as a group have been worthless? What? You want to know why it is that your black lawyers as a group have been worthless? If you want to know why it is that your black political class completely has been absolutely worthless,
nigga, please,
That's the reason. You can trace all these folks back, and when they get together, their goal is to get personal benefits for themselves. And they will go to work for years, decades, in this case over a century, work for themselves as individuals. And then when they get where they're going, that's the last we see or hear from them until they want something else. But if you want to know why it is that so many of your so-called black professionals, whether it's Ben Carson on the buck dancing right, or whether it's Dr. Ben Carson on the buck dancing right, or Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, Michael Eric Dyson on the left, yeah, there's a reason for it. It's always been the reason. But how does that happen? I want you all to consider something here for just a few moments about how exactly that happens. Because if you follow the money, if you're brutally honest and you follow the money, you start to see where it really goes. And when you start to see where it really goes, you start realizing exactly why it is that things are happening the way that they are. Case in point, Roland the Butterball Martin. Every time you turn around, this Negro is sitting up here begging for money. He's begging for money. He's begging for a handout. He's begging for help. He's begging for a clue. It's not accidental. Not accidental at all. You see, there's a reason that the Roland Martins and the sororities and the fraternities are so dogmatic about that HBCU money. People, do you understand that the money that they get from the federal government for the HBCUs, that is directly, not indirectly, directly going to support the sororities and the fraternities at these schools?
These people walk amongst you like ain't nothing going on. They always bragging about their fraternities, their organizations, but nothing is changing for the greater good. See, everybody else move as a collective for the most part. Did you hear what I just said? Every other demographic move as a collective for the most part. Even in groups, they are hierarchies, of course. But I'm saying they don't have nothing to the magnitude of a sorority or a fraternity like this. If they doing something, it's going to benefit the whole entire group from the top to the bottom. For the most part. We got these people walking around us, bragging and shucking and jiving, and ain't getting nothing done. But in the process of still trying to hold you back, talking crazy to you whenever you asking about policies. They hollering and cursing, Roland Martin, calling you stupid and all these names until that somebody jump stupid with you and run up on you. I think that's going to start becoming a reoccurring thing. Because at some point, people going to get tired of this mess. See, a shield is just that, for protection. If you want to stand in the way, you know how beat up a shield get and holes get punched through a shield. If you want to involve yourself in that type of action, well, just stand up in the way then, I guess, right? Because you put yourself there. Nobody didn't put a gun in your head. You volunteered to be in the way. So, okay. So you get what comes with being in the way, right? Whatever comes. I don't know what it looked like, but whatever comes. Jason made an interesting point earlier. He said that you got to watch them old black people, right? And that's true. Now, granted, on the flip side, there were some people putting in work up in the 60s. Yes. But it was a small subset of them. It wasn't everybody. But it was enough to make change back in the 60s, and they don't want to talk about that. Especially whenever they unalive Dr. King. Oh, they had to hurry up and do something because the whole United States was on fire. Over 100 major cities, You can't contain that. They couldn't contain it now. See, black people was to the breaking point. They was tired. They was fed up. So, okay. Since we actually gonna live like this, all right then. We ain't got nothing to lose. See, you don't want a people like that. That's why they want to keep you on the political treadmill. Because that'll happen again and again and again. You see, it don't matter how much technology you have. They 45 million black people here. You can't contain 45 million black people. You couldn't contain 5 million or 2 million that's scattered around. You couldn't do that because people getting tired and these shields are in the way. 1804, anybody? 1804. The shields are in the way. 1804, anybody? Does that ring a bell for anybody? I don't feel no kind of way about them. I look at them as enemy combatants, just like I look at the white supremacists. Same way. They get the same thing.
When you get your student body presidents and whatnot, who are those? So if you want to know why it is that these people are so psychopathic and so tunnel vision and singular minded about getting money to the HBCUs, do you think that just stays with the chancellors and the chairmans and whatnot? No, that doesn't just stay with them. That money gets spent all over the campus and whatnot, but because now here's the real shame of it. The real shame of it is, does anybody want to ask how much money Kamala Harris has given to Howard University? Damn! All right, Jason's going to tone it down a little bit here because he's going to offend some people if he breaks into the Black Ayatollah routine. But by the way, hey, Kamala Harris, how many black people have you wrongfully convicted as District Attorney and Attorney General of California? How many black people did you wrongfully convict? Hey, Kamala Harris, by the way, as a graduate of Howard and sorority and all this old garbage, by the way, how much money have you sent back? Dr. Dre gave millions to USC. I don't even think he attended it. I would be curious to find out, by the way, hey, Kamala Harris, how much money has Howard University and its endowment received from you? Asking for a friend. Oh, you got to understand, see, this you all need to be able to ask these kind of questions here. Your butt dancing ass kissers will not ask this. They're not going to ask these simple questions that put all that, I went to Howard. It puts all that in a brand new light. By the way, hey, Butterball, how much did you give to your alma mater, by the way? You're welcome to answer that anytime you'd like. And you better have some receipts. Have you all considered that? See, the way that these panhandling Negroes work is it's all money in, no money out. So everything is about going out there and hustling up on and grifting off on and begging up on some dollars from somewhere else. And whoever is willing to pay the tab, they dancing for it. And then once they get on, then that's the last time you see them.
There you have it, guys. I just wanted y'all to hear that snippet of Jason talking about the sororities. You need to go check out this video. This is on the Black channel, okay? This is on the Black channel. It's called Who Do the Black Fraternities and Sororities Serve, okay? Go check it out, all right? Guys, these people have to go. You're not speaking for us. They all about self, about titles and all that stuff. That's fine, but you're not going to speak for us. Those days are over with. We don't want no celebrities. We don't want nobody speaking for us. We can speak for ourselves. The brothers and sisters can speak for themselves. They don't need you as a liaison or anything. These people stand in the way and they halt progress, just like those Negroes in California that shot down the reparations claim. Yeah, we heard about it. We all clicked in. We know. We hearing. We looking. We paying attention. These are these same people. I guarantee you, if you start looking in their background, I guarantee you some of them are in fraternities. I guarantee you. Or they in some type of secret backdoor group. I guarantee you. These puppets got to go, man. All of them. Yes. I'm saying it. These puppets got to go. Because they don't serve our purpose. Okay? And Roland Martin get caught with naked men on his channel, and he ain't addressed that yet. This dude was playing a clip just like Jesse Lee Peterson did. He was caught lacking all kind of gay porn sites and stuff. The same thing Roland. Roland was playing a clip or something, and a naked man walked across the screen. And people trying to just, oh, that's just a reality. Yeah, a reality that he in the closet. That's the reality of it. And nobody's knocking your lifestyle, but that just further explains other things that people been questioning for years. That you might be on the bussy train. You might be on the bussy boat. Yeah, living your truth, Roland. And stop hiding. That's why you're so sassy. Yeah, we all know it, guys. But tell me what y'all think. These people are in the way. And they creating confusion and problems for us. 1804 is how I look at it. You can take it and read between the lines, or you don't have to read at all. But that still don't change the facts that these people are in the Boule class. And they have been in the Boule class for quite some time. Ever since the early 1900s. 1908, 1922, all that old stuff. Man, please. You're looking out for yourself. That's all right. You know what selfish people get, right? Shout out to TBA. Go check out his channel, guys, because y'all know what type of work he do. All right, but go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button, donate, guys, and come on back to see me. But until next time, peace. And remember, there is more